What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. I hope you're all doing very well indeed. It's been a hot minute since I've sat down and done a Sorare NBA video. Let me tell you that. Of course, we've had our streams, and if you haven't been coming and checking the streams out sporadically when they've been on board, what you're doing, drop a sub over here on the channel and make sure that that bell's on so you won't miss them when we go live for it. I thought I'm just going to sit down today. I'm going to run through, obviously, my lineups for the upcoming game week. I've got some rewards, of course, that I'll open up as well. And I kind of wanted to go through and just have a deep dive on what the update is for the playoffs that's coming. Obviously, we had Sorare Season 1 NBA and the playoffs and the stuff that come with that. And let's see what they've got in store for Season 2 and sort of what I think you should do to get ready. So without further ado, let's get into it. Right then, I genuinely haven't read this, and I know it says it's March 29th. It's just been insanely busy recently, but I know that there were some positive changes from what I saw across the timeline for the playoffs coming on Sorare NBA. So I'm going to read this through. If you've already read this and you don't want to do it, skip to the lineups and the reward openings. I'll try and bookmark it in the video. But in any case, the championship chase arrives on Sorare NBA. When the regular season ends, the real battle begins. Welcome to the NBA playoffs on Sorare, where every dribble, dunk, and three-pointer carries the weight of history in the making, blah, 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 right? So that's just going through that game week schedule. So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 game weeks across the playoffs. I think that was pretty similar to what it was last year. I think it was 8. It might have been 7, but we get the gist of this. Playing round 1, round 2, and then conferences and so on and so forth. Specific game week start and times may change because obviously playoffs can go for 4 games or for 7 games. And they'll be running 2 kinds of gameplay. As normal, we will feature individual game week competitions. You'll be able to submit fresh lineups each game week. Okay. Each of these lineups will also count towards the championship chase. This is a playoff long leaderboard in which each game week score is cumulative total from the playing game through to the finals. You'll have the chance to change your strategy each week, but ensure you... Okay, so are they not doing the... It doesn't look like they're going to do the IST format where it takes your best 5 of 7 or something, which is interesting because obviously the more teams get knocked out throughout the playoffs, so there's only going to be 2 teams at the bottom, and here obviously there's going to be 4 teams left for the comp finals. So you're going to have to really predict where your gallery wants to be at if they're doing just a cumulative total across the board. Highlighted competitions will also have a championship chase cumulative leaderboard. So pickup mode in the common, good. Street ball, no one cares about. Tip off, no one cares. Well, tip off was what was used for the farming stuff, but now it's sort of the rewards got dulled down. It seems to have done its job in that update that they done. Contender champion, contender champion, contender champion, and unique champion. In-season card, 1 all scarcity. So 1 all scarcities for the in-season is a win. That's so good. That's way better than I thought it was going to be, and that gives me confidence in the platform also for next year that you don't need 3 season cards every single year, which was almost putting me off of buying some new guys for this year because I was going to wait and get their new season card like a Jokic. But now only needing 1 is a very, very positive step. Garage Hoops Rec League will run, not part of the playoffs, okay. Whether you're participating in game week competitions or challenge yourself in the playoff race, we've got something for all managers. Rewards. A full breakdown of rewards will be ahead of the... Okay, it's 100k in cash rewards. So it's going to get spread between... This year, we're excited, 100,000 total across both gameplay formats. We're not talking about credits to redeem for merge either. Managers will have the opportunity to win cash. Good. Cash reward allocations will remain the same throughout the season, throughout the playoffs. So we're getting a decent chunk that's going in here, and it's all in champion, which should then see, obviously now you're only prioritizing champion every single time. There's no doubt about that. For the championship chase leaderboards, we'll also be ruling top managers. These will be paid out to cumulative performers at the end of the playoffs. The total cash, right? So this is for each game week individually. There's going to be nearly 6 grand in limited, nearly 7 in rare, 7 in super, and 7.2 in unique. And I guess it will be sort of weighted in the lower scarcities. So you're going to have way more prizes paid out, but it'll be smaller amounts. In rare, it'll be a little bit more of a chunkier amount, but less people will be getting it, and so on and so forth in super and unique. The championship chaser, this is going to be for the cumulative leaderboards. So this is where the special edition cards come in. So IRL prizes, signed jerseys, player worn jerseys, signed basketball, signed shoes. IRL prizes, VIP packages to the 2024 IST, 2025 Paris game, 2025 All-Star game, and then, of course, the special edition cards, which they haven't announced yet. So they're going to be very similar to what they've done with the Christmas Day stuff and also what they've done with All-Star, which were very, very nice, and of course help collection scores as well, which then have a boost on your cards' percentages for fantasy scoring. Regular edition, as normal, regular edition cards will be awarded each game week. The distribution rate. Okay, so you only get the special edition cards based off the championship chase. So you don't win playoff cards. Right, okay, I got you. So it'd be interesting to know how many special edition cards they're going to pay out, because they haven't let us know that data yet. So limited is paying up to 700 limiteds. Rare is to 65. Super is, again, probably that looks like it's going to be a top 9. And unique is number 1, and I guess that'll be like a tier 2 super. Super's going to be tough. Rare's going to be tough. Limited, there's scarcity for it. 3 rares is interesting. I feel like they pay top 30 for rares at the moment in the weekly. So that's a 90% reduction. But I'm okay with that. There needs to be some form of 5 supers. That doesn't make sense to me that it's 3 rares as opposed to 30 normally. And I'm sure in Rare Champion, they only pay 5 supers normally. So they're still paying 5 supers in the playoffs, which is still nice. But special edition cards will be rewarded to top performance in Championship Chase. These cards are elite. Only the 16 teams to make it to the playoffs will have the special edition cards minted. This does not include teams eliminated in the play-in. Okay, so just the top 8 that are going to make it in. These cards will be available in limited rare supers. No gameplay bonuses apply to these special edition cards. They will carry I should say, a special edition bonus, which is what I just said. The special edition cards will be part of the player's existing card population, for example. Right, so they're not over minting, is basically what they're saying for this. For the championship playoffs on Sorare NBA, we want to continue delivering amazing VIP experiences to the best managers. The performers will clinch, yes, like we just said beforehand. Our player ambassadors, past and present, also making sure that their best performances get rewarded with memorable parties. Okay, so we're going to get Paolo Banchero, Donovan Mitchell, Jalen Brunson, Mikal Bridges, and Cat stuff. That's cool. That's very, very cool. A few items from a top rookie will also... So there's going to be Wemby stuff, and it doesn't stop there. A few items from a certain top rookie will also be in the prize pool. It'd be funny if this is Chet, but that's going to be Wemby stuff, let's be honest. Playoffs collection event, the prize, 2 lucky managers will be able to attend a conference final game of their choice. Not only that, we get to pick, but we're also throwing in $1,000 shot. So basically, if you live in the UK like me or any European country, your flights are going to get comped. That's basically what they're saying. That's really cool, though. This is a much better update than it was last year, when it was like, hey, here is a points-based system where you can win a backpack or a water bottle or a portable charger or some headphones. This is much better. And I did see some stuff on Twitter about it, but the fact that you need 1 new card is very, very good for the future of the game for next year, because there needs to be a happy medium. As a long-term exister of the game, if I'm playing it every week and I've already got everyone, there's no reason for me to buy people. And that's a bad business model for both sides. So there has to be some format of it. And I think 1 is fair. If I'm honest, I thought 2 would have been fine. But 1 is amazing. So that's props for that. Absolute props for that. So overall, I'm pretty happy with this update. Going into the playoffs, I'm very, very confident. Now then, let's get back to this current week, though. We're not at the playoffs just yet. We are still building lineups for this. And we did come 22nd in Rare Champ last week, 258th in Contender. So we've got a little tier 3 on both of them to open and some ETH. So I can't remember how much ETH you get for top 20 or 20 quids. That's probably what, like $20. I thought I was going to get a really good reward in Champ this week in terms of like top 5, but I think it was like a case of Jabari Walker went nuts. Tyrese Maxey had that double overtime, I think, for the Sixers. So there was just a few cases that bumped me out of it, sadly. Right, let's rip these common cards as well. And whilst we're here, drop a sub on the channel, leave a like on the video. I'm trying to get the channel to 1,000 subscribers as quickly as possible for it. And leave a comment down below. I want to know who your like dark horses are. Who are your underrated team going into the playoffs? Because I think everyone knows that this year the Celtics are going to be very, very good. Denver's obviously going to be great when you get into it. And there's obviously some legacy teams in the playoffs. But who do you think is going to go all the way? I'm really curious to know that one. And also for the update on the Sorare NBA stuff that they've just done, what do you think about it? I'm really interested to know if you're happy with it, if you was wanting something else. Because from when I read it, I thought it looked pretty positive. There's not much more I could have really asked for it. Tier 3 limited, though, Golden State, forward, another Andrew Wiggins. I think I've got 2 of him now. So that's always handy for them. I think they've clinched their spot in terms of the playoffs. Rare champion. I don't really want a Wiggins here. Bucks, forward. Is that Chris Middleton? Bobby Portis. I'll take a Bobby Portis. I wonder where Chris Middleton would be. I think I've won Bobby Portis as well earlier this year. But do you know what? If Giannis has to sit a game during the playoffs, or if he starts getting some injury rest management stuff towards the back end of this regular season, because the Bucks have been horrendous recently, we'll take a little Bobby Portis. Let's get on to building some lineups. And speaking of building lineups, if you are wanting to get ahead of the curve, shall we say, going into the NBA playoffs, and also just towards the back end of this regular season, consider signing up to Top Tier Projections. There'll be a link in the description down below. They are by far and away the best projection site that I use here on Sorare for the fantasy side, on the basketball side of things. The ease of it is what's really nice. And let me show you. We'll build my common lineup together quickly. Common champion, I can go in here just on my collection, hit refresh for the new cards that I just won a moment ago. They'll get pulled through like that. I can then run the rare champion and it spits out an optimal 5-man lineup that it thinks that I should play for this game week. I can do this for common, for limited rares, for super, and in every contest and special contest that they have on the site. Check it out down below. Let them know that I sent you and you'll get a little discount off when you sign up too. Anyway, let's get on with building my lineups. So, like I just said, obviously when I'm running through and using top tier projections, I don't always use it as gospel. I don't take what they say for definite, because at the end of the day, they're just projections. I'm still going to go off what I think is right and what I think is a better play. So with that being said, I still think Luka is going to be the best, if not one of the best MVPs. I would like to play Wemby as well, but I just think Luka's in such form at the minute as well. And Wemby's been amazing, but he's going to be Luka's my MVP. I want to keep playing him as well to get that percentage up come the playoffs when it kicks into effect. Moving on down, Zion is someone that I want to target as well, because Zion has been in sensational form as of late. Still no Brandon Ingram. I know he's back and he's meant to be back for the playoffs, but whilst he's not there, I'm going to run without him. Jabari Walker on the 24 just gets seeing obscene minutes recently as the Blazers have just fully shut everyone. Like they're just I don't know, they're just waiting for next season. That's what the Blazers are doing. They're waiting for next season. Speaking of another team that's waiting for next season, the Jazz will throw Kessler in as they try and get his stock up. And I mean, look, again, this is what I mean. It's telling me here to play a little bit of a Kawhi, and I'm just not sure I'm feeling Kawhi in this sense. Like, do you know what I mean? Kawhi is not going to be the move for me. And I've realised I've got rid of Jabari Walker. So we'll go and throw Jabari Walker back in there. It happens every time, doesn't it? I'm not sure Kawhi's the move for me. I'm thinking maybe a Steph, maybe a Triple J, D'Lo even. I'm probably going to go for D'Lo, actually. Or Paolo. I'm actually going to go Paolo. Paolo, I think, is going to be the move. Kawhi, I just don't think they're going to risk him. It is more of my concern. So we'll lock that one up there. Let's get on with my limited lineups. And just like common on the limited side, Luka is going to be my MVP. I've got him at 12% now. The XP bonus is ticking along nicely. I'm going to maybe try and pick up a few more of the collection cards just to boost his score going into the playoffs. But yeah, he's ticking along nicely for me on that collection score. Another guy I want to throw in this week is Domantas Sabonis. Just a walk-in double-double. I think it's like 63 in a row that he's got right now. And I will throw James Harden in the champ side of things. Now, I know I've got a Keontae George, and like I said with the Jazz, they're just waiting for next season. They're giving guys extra minutes where you wouldn't necessarily be expecting it. He's down at 18 right now, and he can go for a 40-point game. And I think he's going to get minutes. Like, again, he got 34 minutes across on Sunday. I think they're going to give him plenty of playing time. That then leaves me with 21, and I could go for a Walker Kessler. I like Malachi Flynn's 50 piece. I think is going to be a bit of a blip. So I think Kessler's going to be the play here. I don't mind Lou Dort as well, especially that Spurs matchup. I quite like him in that. But I think Kessler's going to be the move. So we'll run him here. 3 new season cards as well that's slotting in for a limited champion. Let's go and build my limited contender. We'll do it right now. Stay with me as well, because we're just going to fly into it, because that's what we do. That's what we do in these sort of things. Now, the contender stuff, I used to prioritize contender, and maybe that was a mistake on my part, but I think there's a lot of variable room in contender at the minute, because especially this last week, there's going to be so many guys that get a bump in minutes when you don't usually see that. Someone that isn't doing that is Dante Exum. Predominantly, he's been getting a bit more of a bump in this Mavs rotation. Seeing him as like a nice catch and shoot guy, but we're going to run him as well. Kobe White, he's someone that the projections are liking. I'm not. He's sealing games for me. I know he's had 55, 64s, but watching the Bulls, he is in it for me. Like, the Bulls are just The Bulls are a mess, quite frankly, is what I'll say. I don't know what's going to happen with DeMar next season, but Kobe White's not someone I want to run. Chet is someone that I do want to run at 35, at 31, I should say, on the premise that this is just too low, I think. His ceilings are 50, 60-point scores. So for me, that's fine to run. Got 2 rookies here. I really like the rookie design of the cards. Do you remember at the start of the year when people moaned about the card design? And I think when you go and look at these now in comparison to the other ones, it's just sort of, it's like a chalk and cheese difference, really, for me. It really, really is. It really is. Do I want to go for Jalen Duren or Bradley Beal? Bradley Beal's someone that I do quite like the look of at 30 as well. That then leaves me with 14 left across the 2. And Bradley Beal I only like because he's just been, since he's moved to the 1 as opposed to being at that 2, I don't know, something's just clicked for Bradley is what I'll say, watching him as well. Outside of that, Trendon Watford's someone that's going to be getting a bump in minutes, but he's only got 1 game this week. Aaron Wiggins has been seeing a good usage rate, so I could throw him in again. And then that leaves me with 13, where I could play a Bol Bol, I could play a Dante Exum. Oh, yeah, Dante Exum. I literally had him in. I do the thing every time where I take him out. Yeah, that works perfectly for me, actually. If I do take Bradley Beal out and went for someone in the 31 range, we're looking at Aaron Gordon, who I don't mind and would play, but he's a game time. Do you know what? I actually kind of prefer Aaron Gordon. That Jazz matchups are really nice for him. I could do that instead. I think I'm going to do that. We'll lock that in there. And then what's it? Limited pure play. Oh, this will be a fun. This is great as well. 2 guards, 2 forwards, a center. We've been asking for stuff like this for ages. So if we're going to do pure play, is Embiid going to play against the Pistons? Is the question. It is in 2 days' time, so I think he does. Right, we'll play him. We need 3 new cards, right? Okay. So if we scroll on down, let's go and get someone. Let's go and get someone that's going to have a little bit more like value per se on their cap, because this is where the money's at for it. We could go here. I don't have 2 Exums, do I? No, I don't. Do I want to use Bryce? I can use my Bryce here. I know I have a Bryce Sensabaugh. Do I? I thought I had a Bryce. Maybe I don't. I do have a Bryce. We'll throw Bryce in there as well. What else have we got that we could potentially throw in? Cole Anthony's a little bit high. Norm Powell at 22 is not bad. Cason Wallace isn't bad. Chris Dunn. We can look at a Chris Dunn. I think Chris Dunn again. Jazz are going to give guys to more minutes than you wouldn't expect. And then that leaves me with 42. Now, I don't want to throw Jason Tatum in there because the Celtics have nothing to play for. Giannis is someone that I could throw in, leaving me with 31 left for a guard. And that's where I could throw Bradley Beal. And I actually don't mind that. And I think that's what we'll do for limited pure play. We'll lock that in there. We've got an Embiid and we've got a Giannis in the same lineup. And then for underdog's sake, where are we at for underdog? So in this realm, is there anyone in the lower side? Do I have a Jaden Hardy? Did I pick one of him up? Jaden Hardy's always low. Yes, we'll throw him in there. Who else have we got in the lower echelons? Trendon Watford will definitely go in there. I know that. We'll play our Bol Bol because why not? Jackson Hayes I'm not going to play because of the 1 game this week. I don't really want to play anyone down this round. David Roddy's not going to be getting minutes. Keontae Johnson's not got minutes. Shake Milton, no. I think this is going to be a Pat Connaughton, and then at 22, a Norm Powell. And I think that's where we'll land. All new cards. We'll throw that lineup together right there. And now let's move on to the Reds. Rare Champion. What am I going to do for Rare Champion, I hear? Now, AD has got 1 game, but I still think I'm going to play him against Golden State. The Lakers are on pretty good form, I'd say, and AD himself been sensational. I know he didn't play the full game against the Timberwolves because of that eye injury, but 20%, he's been great. I'm going to play him even though he's got 1 game as my champion. Next door to him, I kind of like Anthony Edwards, primarily because of that Wizards game. So we're going to throw him in there. I think he can just have fun with it. And then Jimmy Butler at 32 is still too low. Anyone else in that range? I don't think so. Russell Westbrook, someone that I played last week along with Zubac that won me some good rewards. But 27 here, I could go for a KCP at 25 is too much. I think Jaden Ivey could be the play at 24 here. He's coming off of 2 good games, been getting extra minutes. I think that they're going to give him some minutes as well now towards the back end of the season. I can see them shutting K down. So I don't mind that. At 32, if I could go for I would really like Devin Booker in that game against the Clippers. Lillard's not been it, but I think that this is good. I don't think there's anyone else at 35 that's really going to go for it for me. So that's what I'll settle on as my rare champion. I think I've got three really good, like Anthony Davis, Anthony Edwards, and Jimmy Butler's both nice. And then two guards that I can see getting a little bit more usage. Like James Harden didn't even close the game out for the Clippers the other day. So I think Russell Westbrook is he's a nice card to have, is what I'll say. He's a nice card to have. Then in rare contender, I don't really have a great rare contender team, I don't think, this week. Like Fred VanVleet is someone that was looking at here. 42 is quite high for him. Another option is Draymond Green that I've got. He's down at 29, and obviously he's got that matchup against the Blazers, which I kind of like him for. And then I'm left at 16, and here Markelle Fultz is one at 13 that I don't mind. And outside of that, I don't really like the options that we've got here. I don't want to play Bruce Brown, and that's someone that is being projected well because I don't see what they're going to get out of playing him. I think Caleb Martin could be a better pick, and then potentially a Harrison Barnes, but Terrence Mann, someone there, but he doesn't really get strong minutes. I'm tempted to even play Trendon Watford against the Raptors on that one game, and I think I'm probably going to do that. I think that's better. I really do. And then last but not least is we'll do underdog as well, but we'll do pure play. Another one that I quite like. And now we've got a little bit more options in terms of playing people. So I could go for a Gafford. Paul George seems to be an obvious one that I should play with a new season card that we've got. We could throw Bobby Portis in there on a back-to-back, might get some extra minutes. Miles McBride's been good, but 31's high. We could put Dante in there and hope he has one of his blinder shooting games. Now we're left with 23 per position, and we need some guardage. If we did book, we need a 4 center. Do we even have a 4 center? No, we have. We've got Bol. In fact, we'll put Bol in. On what guard can we get at 34? Miles McBride. So we'll get rid of Dante, and then that leaves me with 44 for that guard, and we still can't get who we want. We could go for JB. I think JB might play one of those games as well and play it well. Yeah, we'll do that. That's what we'll run for very pure play. Build underdog as well. And then we'll run into supers. I don't know if I've done a video with supers yet, but we'll run straight into the super stuff. Cam Reddish is going to get... Did he even get minutes last night without LeBron? I don't think he did. Got eight fantasy points. That's mad. He was like really good at... Like, I thought he was going to be really good on the Lakers. I really do. I think he needs to find a home because there is a player in there with Cam Reddish. There really is. Cedi Osman can play. Terrence Mann can play. That then leaves me with 20 left. Harrison Barnes can get some time. And so, actually, no, Harrison Barnes cannot get time. We want to play. We'll get Carl Anderson in there. That leaves me with 11. So we can boost our Jackson Hayes as well. I kind of want to get Jackson Hayes' percentage up as much as possible. And now let's do supers because supers are just fun to do, aren't they? I think as well, I need to, and obviously when I said about getting into supers, I was going to do it and slowly chip away at it. That was my whole aim. We already hit a reward this year, which I was very happy with. I'm tempted to play Kessler Edwards because he did get minutes in the rotation against Boston. Did get some against Nets or against Brooklyn, I should say. But I don't know, there's something putting me off. Like obviously they're using me as just non-ball defender, but I think maybe if once the Kings' seed is secure, then potentially I can look to him. But I don't think right now I can trust him in lineups per se. I'd have to hope for a miracle, and I don't necessarily really want to do that. So I'm still going to stick at champion. And this is the issue with me. Like, Fox is good. He's just not... He's like a tier 2 MVP. He's a tier 1 card, tier 2 MVP. But we'll run him out. Jackson Hayes is projecting well, even though he's got one game. I think this is because, obviously, he came off of that one. But AD is expected to play. So I don't necessarily want to run him. But I don't know if I can get away without running him, if that makes sense. Because some of my other cards now have crept up into the high 30s. So if we do play Jackson Hayes, that then leaves me with 36 across all of these here. I would quite like to play KD. I'm not fussed about playing Rudy. Josh Giddey I could run. That then leaves me with 33, so I could play Clint Capella. And I don't mind Clint Capella, especially in that matchup against Charlotte. So we'll run that. And then obviously we'll get the news. If AD doesn't play, we won't play Jackson Hayes and we'll have to rejig that. This is where I'll play Kessler Edwards. I'll also throw Grant Williams in here. I'll throw Sam Hauser in here because I can see him just getting shots up whilst they're waiting. We've got a Corey Kisbert we can use, and then that leaves me with 34. So we'll go full Wizards on that side because Mikal Bridges' minutes have been strange as is. So Denny Avia should get minutes for him, and just boost up their percentages ready for next year. And that's going to leave it where it is. I'm not going to bother with the street ball stuff. That's going to be all my lineups for it. Guys, this has been really fun. It's been a bit of a different one doing the video as opposed to the stream. Just wanted to get something locked and loaded and ready. And also, before we do sign off, if I know I haven't been posting as regularly as I am or here on YouTube for the Sorare videos per se, we do the streams. But if you want to come and drop me a follow over on Twitter, this is my Twitter, my main one. Go and drop me a follow over there. I'm always on there, and I'll be around when Sorare locks happen as well. So, but guys, this has been great. Thank you very much for hanging out with me. Make sure you hit the subscribe button, leave a like on the video, and I'll catch you in the next one. Peace.